Welcome to Explain America. I'm your host, Kyle Becker. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth has fired a cruise missile inside the intelligence community, and the fallout, it is big. But before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, Pete Hegseth has been a controversial pick from the very beginning. The Democrats hated it from the very start because, well, we all know him as a Fox and Friends host when he was in the media. He is a military veteran. He's kind of a no-nonsense guy and very polished, sharp communicator. But did he have the teeth to really be a good Pentagon chief? I mean, did he have the temerity? Did he have the wherewithal? Did he have the insight? Was he shrewd enough to operate in the swamp? Well, one of the intelligence officials, a top agency official, his name is Lieutenant General Jeffrey Cruz. He was an Air Force Lieutenant General. He was at the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. Now, you might have heard of this. It's DIA, and it is not a small fries operation. It is a very important member of the intelligence community, and the issue here is a really interesting one, and something that Hegseth would be very sensitive to as a journalist, and that is the report on Iran. Now, remember when there were airstrikes against Iranian nuclear facilities?
The president not happy about the leaked intelligence assessment on the U.S. strikes in Iran. He wrote, and you just saw it flash upon your screen, but here it is in full glory. Fake news reporters from CNN and the New York Times should be fired immediately. Bad people with evil intentions. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth laying out all of the issues on the low confidence leak and subsequent report, then torching the media on that report straight to their face.
Specifically, you, the press corps, because you cheer against Trump so hard. It's like in your DNA and in your blood to cheer against Trump. Because you want him not to be successful so bad, you have to cheer against the efficacy of these strikes. So let's take half-truths, spun information, leaked information, and then spin it. Spin it in every way we can to try to cause doubt and manipulate the public mind over whether or not our brave pilots were successful.
There was a DIA-sourced leak that came out to the press, and CNN and the New York Times, they pounced on it, basically saying, well, these missile strikes, they didn't really have a damaging effect. It didn't really wipe out their operation. It was low confidence, they said. Well, Pete Hegseth had a hilarious way of firing Lieutenant General Cruz, and that he said that he had a loss of confidence in him. I mean, you got to give Hegseth credit for like the low-key shade there, because their low confidence intelligence assessment led to low confidence in the leadership. So that's awesome. But this is an important thing because it sends the message to the Pentagon that leaks will not be tolerated. And we're sure that Cruz will go on. He might be picked up by a consultancy or so forth. But being removed from the deep state, it is a step forward. And, you know, the more you can push these guys out of government, strip their classified access, the more that you can put them on the outside looking in, the better. Just have to keep the momentum going to make sure that you can slowly get some of these bad operators out of the government, because, you know, you got to look at what the motives of Cruz might have been in this case, and it was just simply to undermine the administration. That's not acceptable. You're there to do a job, to serve the American people, and it doesn't really matter if you have personal feelings about the commander-in-chief. Nobody cares. I mean, in the military, you're supposed to follow orders, and you're supposed to do your duty and to be a good faith actor and to comport yourself with dignity and integrity. And that is the backbone of America's intelligence community and defense communities, and also law enforcement. So your fidelity should be to the American people, to the rule of law, to the code of honor, that you are duty bound to uphold. So this sends a message to people inside the IC. Look, these 51 spies that lied, it's not going to be tolerated. Leaking to the press because you don't like Donald Trump, it's not going to be tolerated. So this is a great step forward, and it really restores confidence to me between this and the FBI with Kash Patel going after Bolton over his alleged classified materials. Turnabout is fair play. I mean, you know, if you have classified materials, look what happened to Donald Trump. The difference there is he was the commander in chief. He had an office in Mar-a-Lago. He had Secret Service protection. Like the classified documents that he had, he was authorized to have them. He was the only guy who was authorized to have them because he has ultimate declassification authority. Period. Full stop. It's not up for debate. So, and it was great how that case was thrown out of court because, well, as we all know, Jack Smith was an illegitimate special prosecutor. But John Bolton, we'll have to see what kind of justice he gets. We're sure he's going to get more due process than former President Trump did. And, you know, so he can complain and whine about Russia and warmonger all he wants because we're pretty sure we know what side of the bread is getting buttered in that case. And he's been a swamp monster for a long time. Very shameless one. War profiteer. We know the likes of John Bolton and Lindsey Graham and the rest of these fake Republicans who are just in it for themselves, in it for defense contractors, you know, literally getting people's lives at risk. And in some cases, they lose their lives over their war profiteering. Well, enough is enough. We have enough problems at home. We don't need to be solving Eastern Europe's problems or, you know, fledgling states in the Middle East or, you know, the middle of Africa. Okay, sometimes if you have a national security interest, it's legitimate. There is a gray area, but just go through the Congress and vote on authorizations of war because the likes of John Bolton, they need to go away. And that was a great first step. And then also Lieutenant General Cruz, well, he has gone away, thanks to Pete Hegseth. So weigh in with your thoughts. This has been Kyle Becker with Explain America.